Today, Loud and I thought we would do a video on what our love languages are. We've been together for 7 years and have never even thought to look at what our love languages are. That said, I think I could probably guess your top two. Do you think you could guess my top two?
Maybe.
I could probably get it close.
Yes.
I could definitely get one of the top two. You think you could get one of my top two?
Yeah, probably. I think so.
So if you're not familiar, the love languages are from The 5 Love Languages, which was a book written by Gary Chapman. And basically it's just 5 different ways to express and experience love. In our case, in a romantic relationship. And the idea of it is you figure out what your love languages are as well as your partner. If you're in a relationship, there are ways you can do it as like a kid, a single person, a couple, and something else. I forget what the fourth. Oh well. But it's just supposed to help you understand your partner better, understand what they want and need from you, and how they experience love, as well as just understand yourself a little bit better. So the 5 love languages are words of affirmation, acts of services, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. So do you want to show yours first, or do you want me to show mine first?
Show yours first.
Okay, so if I'm going to show mine first, you have to guess what my top 2 are.
Okay.
And these are your choices.
Top 2. I think it's gonna be quality time.
Okay.
And receiving gift.
So you did not guess the one that I thought you would guess. You also did not guess my number 1.
Oh.
Would you like to guess what my number 1 is? One more guess?
Acts of service?
So my number 1 and my number 2 were acts of service by a big margin. This was almost double my second choice. And my second one was actually 2 different tied ones, quality time and physical touch. So we'll get into these a little bit more, but now we'll do yours. So I'm going to guess for you, your top 2 are physical touch and quality time.
Let me see.
I'm not looking.
Well, you got my first one.
Okay, but I didn't get the other one?
You didn't get the second one.
Okay. So receiving gifts or words of affirmation?
None.
Oh my goodness. It's acts of service?
Yeah.
All right, show yours. That's so funny. You were so quick to get mine. So just to compare, quality time was my second. It was your first.
My first one.
And acts of service was my first.
And
it's
it's
your
my second one.
So just to explain just the ones that we have, acts of service, it's kind of what it sounds like. I guess I should have known this, especially now that we're moms. I don't know that that would have used to have been one of yours.
Probably not a year ago.
Yeah. So acts of service is basically taking something off of my plate and doing it for me. So in our case, you know, I usually do a lot of the chores, not all of them, but a lot of them because you're working out of the house. But when I'm stressed out and super busy, sometimes you'll come in and do the dishes for me or do the laundry.
Or take the baby.
Or take the baby so I can just have a mental health break. So those are acts of services. Quality time, which we also both had, is kind of what it sounds like. You're spending quality time together. I think, again, in our case, now here at home, it's just after the baby goes to bed, making sure we have 5 minutes on the couch.
Time for each other.
Yeah. Family dinner, that's been a big one. We eat family dinner together every single night that we can, unless you can't come home because you're working late.
One of the things that I actually like and appreciate a lot lately is having nothing on when we're having dinner, like no TV.
You want to be naked and eating dinner?
No, nothing on technology-wise.
Yeah.
Like
No, we unplug at dinner time. I was gonna say naked dinners are something we have not been doing yet, or ever.
Well, I actually, like, first thing I do when I get home is like make sure I change my clothes, wash my hands, like get the baby, and make sure that we eat together on the table.
Focus with each other.
Yes, no TV, no cell phones, just time for us.
And I feel like that's something we've been fairly good at for most of our relationship.
Yes.
It wasn't uncommon for us before baby to just have like a, wireless Wednesday or a media-free Monday and just play some board games and hang out. So my third one, or well, tied for second, was physical touch, and I can tell you just from answering them, those are specifically related to what? What do you think why was that one of mine?
Physical touch?
Yeah.
She likes massages.
I like massages, I like hugs, I like to have a long hug every day, I like it when she gives me piojitos. What? Oh, physical touch was high on hers. It was third, it wasn't too far off. That's funny, hers looking at them are pretty closely ranked, like by numbers. And mine, like, acts of service was, like, through the roof. And I do think becoming a mom has changed this. I think if you had asked us before we had a baby, mine would have been quality time and physical touch. And acts of service, maybe third. I think yours probably before baby. Well, what do you think they would have been before baby?
Before baby, probably, acts of service would have been one of the top ones. I do like doing stuff for you when I can.
No, what you like. Like what you like for me to do for you. What would your two have been?
Words of affirmation.
Yeah.
And
I think I think before baby it would have been words of affirmation and receiving gifts. Or quality time. Quality time would have been right up there. But
you guys probably don't know this, but I am obsessed with notebooks and pens, and if she ever giving me, like, as a gift, that for me is like, oh my gosh, she loves me so much because she knows that I love this stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Any gifts we tend to give are fairly small.
Yeah, it was nothing big.
Yeah. So we're pretty well matched in that what I like to receive, you also like to receive for the most part. Our top three, I know mine were tied, but our top three were identical, just shuffled in order. And funnily enough, like I said, I think having the baby changed it, but I think the things that we're doing now that we both appreciate and we both feel show love have been consistent. Like, I think one of my favorite birthday gifts you've ever given me, do you know what I'm going to say?
A blanket.
What's my number one? That's a gift.
Wait, wasn't that day that I actually asked for a half day at work just to clean the house?
Before my birthday.
Before her birthday. I wanted her to actually have nothing to do with the house. So I asked for a half day at work and clean the house, like, up and down, like nothing. I wanted her to do nothing on her birthday. Yeah. And sure enough, she did nothing on her birthday.
Yeah. I mean, we went and did things, like, out and about, but we didn't have to do any, like, home maintenance or chores, and still I was like, be still my heart. This is definitely one of, but, like, the blanket you're talking about is, like, the first gift you've ever given me, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I still have that, and I do love getting blankets because I love being comfy. But yeah, I mean, I think acts of service is a big one for us. It's part of why, even before baby, I would get up when I didn't have to and do your coffee and your lunch. Before baby, I was better about putting a cute or a funny little note in it. So actually what all the Post-its are, whenever we film in the kitchen and there's a bunch of Post-its.
Those are all of the notes that she puts on my lunch.
I don't tend to do them very often anymore because one, I'm tired, and two, we're out of normal size Post-its. So
the ones that we have are huge.
Yeah, but I do think while I'm not shocked by our results, it's nice to know. You know, it's nice to know that you really value quality time and acts of service. And hopefully you like knowing that I love when you give me back massages and piojitos.
It happened last night.
It did. She gave me a shoulder massage last night and I loved it. But anyway, this was kind of fun to do. It's something, like I said, I think since ours changed, it could be really helpful to do every couple of years as a couple. Just to kind of measure where you're at. Because I think definitely with, you know, what's going on in your life, these things could shift.
I think another thing that you guys can actually do is communicate with each other. That is one of the things that I like about our relationship. We can actually talk to each other about anything.
Yeah, and it's important to let your partner know what you want. You know, if I walked through life thinking you only wanted gifts and you didn't need me to spend we spend quality time together anyway, but if I didn't need to make an effort to make that quality time fun or to take things off your plate, I'd just keep giving you gifts, and you're like, why? You know, she's giving me gifts. She's giving me all these pens and notebooks. Is she saying I need to work on my handwriting, or, you know, whatever it is? But you know, she's giving me a lot of candles and body sprays and perfumes. Do I stink? So yeah, communicating in general, but then specifically communicating about what you want and what makes you feel loved and special.
So true.
Okay, I think that's it. Anything else?
Nope.
You want to spend some quality time together? We've already done most of the acts of service.
True.
Quality time.
Yay.
Yay. Bye.
Bye.